Hey, welcome back to Gears and the final steps of our old number 7 Camaro. Now, with engine performance taken care of and exhaust taken care of, we're down to number 6 of the top 7 things that you can do to a newer vehicle: suspension.
I like to cruise, you know, so I would say something a little softer and, you know, a little better ride quality.
So you don't want a race car on the street?
For me, no. I have that outlet, you know.
Sure.
So I'm more about ride quality, and I want my wife to hop in the car and enjoy driving it. I do have some other cars that aren't so ride focused, and she won't get in them. Like, hey babe, let's take this to the you know, hamburger stand. She's like, no, it's too rough.
And this is where you need to be careful, because there's companies out there like BMR Suspension that offer all kinds of stuff for the Camaro. And if you're not careful, you can put the wrong suspension in for the way you're going to use the car. For example, if the car is mostly street driven, they've got these non-adjustable rear trailing arms and control arms. They have this strut brace. They've got larger front and rear sway bars. All of this will take your suspension to the next level, be great on the street, and still give you some fun on the track. However, if you want to go to the next level, you can get fully adjustable rear trailing arms and control arms. They have cradle braces. They've got different bushing kits for the rear cradle. Man, you can turn that car into a serious track monster. So you need to choose wisely. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it needs to go on the car. Now, since this car is more street driven, we're going to go with this street performance package because it's a great bang for the buck. Springs and shocks are another thing to look at when you're dealing with suspension. And once again, there's companies out there like Eibach that have all kinds of different spring choices, different heights, different spring rates, so you can really dial in your suspension for the way you're going to drive the car. Shocks, the same thing. These are Viking dual adjustable shocks for the rear of the Camaro. And notice you can adjust your compression and rebound separately, so you can really dial in the car. Now, this might be a little overkill for a car that you're driving every day, but if you're going to ever venture out on the track, you might want to think about this. The magic of this BMR suspension is that it bolts right in place of the stock pieces, so installation is really simple. All right, that brings us to number 7, brakes, wheels, and tires. And this isn't just for looks.
If you're going to upgrade the engine, you've got to put some brakes on it, so I definitely agree with that.
So we're going to upgrade those stock front brakes with this Wilwood Aero-Lite brake kit for the Camaro. Now, these feature a massive 15-inch rotor and an equally impressive 6-piston caliper. Then, of course, you've got all the hardware and brackets to put it in. The best part is, though, this bolts right in place of your stock brakes. So let's get them on. Now, the stock Camaro wheels aren't bad, they're just stock. We want something a lot more unique than this. So we went to Weld Racing and got a set of these S77 wheels. Now, these are a very cool, incredibly strong forged wheel that we got with a polished rim and the charcoal coating on the spokes to accent the look of the car. For size, we're using a 20x9 on the front and pushing to a 20x10.5 on the rear. And we're wrapping those wheels with a set of Nitto high-performance NT 555 G2 tires to give us increased traction and handling capabilities to control the extra power, handling, and braking that we've added. On the front is a 275 30/20, and on the rear is a 305 30/20. And that's it, old number 7. A great example of the top 7 areas to modify on a newer vehicle to make it stand out from anything else out there on the road. And those top 7 things, again, in no particular order, are number 1, paint modifications. Number 2, body modifications. Number 3, interior upgrades. Number 4, engine and performance modifications. Number 5, exhaust. Number 6, suspension. And number 7, brakes and wheels and tires. And the best part is, you can have a car just like this, but you can't buy it. You gotta build it.